I want to move on to just a situation. I'd like to see how you would handle it. Guys are leaving WWE, not all the time, but there's some contracts coming up. Like Bray Wyatt's already out of contract. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn will be out of contract soon. A kid from NXT, Johnny Gargano, is going to be out of contract. And those are obviously all talented guys. But does AEW need more talent, Nate? I mean, that's already a pretty saturated roster when you only have 3 hours of TV. How would you handle that situation?
I most definitely would hire Bray Wyatt. I'm a huge fan of his. The kid can work and talk, and he comes up with some incredible ideas. I know you're not crazy about those gimmicks, but when you think that he put the time and effort and that those were his thought process, plus he's legit. He's a tough kid. He was an amateur wrestler, played football at Troy. I mean, you know I probably am too much favor of a lot of the athletes that were, played D1 sports and that, but I'm just a big fan of his. I like his brother a lot too, who you couldn't find a handsomer, more athletic guy. But I think if I'm going to hire one more guy, I hire Bray Wyatt. See,
here's my thing about Bray Wyatt, and I did not like the Fiend character. I thought that damaged everybody it touched, except for Randy Orton, who, as we know, is foolproof. I loved Bray in the original gimmick with the Wyatt family. I thought that was brilliant.
I'm making more reference to that than I am the Fiend.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. But, Nate, I just don't see where you put him. I mean, like, I look at AEW. They have 24 female wrestlers under contract, and they only do one female match per show. I mean, no one can become a star doing that except Britt Baker, who's already a star. On their Friday show, they have 4 announcers. 4 people on mic at the same time. It sounds like a traffic jam. And they're all decent announcers. But, I mean, where do you draw the line? Where do you feature the talent that should be featured? And when do you say no to somebody?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be in that position of criticizing anybody.
No, I know what you mean. And I'm not criticizing per se.
No. I know what I would do, and I would make changes. But I don't own the company, and I'm not. And I've got friends there, and I have my thoughts about it, but everything, no matter where we go with this show and whatever we talk about, everything bears a result and a number called a rating.
Right.
So until the ratings start getting where everybody wants to be and they have a level of comfort with, then everybody's going to be under criticism and everybody's going to be looked at in a different light.
Well, it's not even so much criticism, Nate, not on your part and not even on mine, although that certainly is my bent as a cynical person. But AEW on Wednesday night is the only wrestling TV show I watch from beginning to end every week. The others I tape, I fast forward. I look for Ashley's match. I look for Orton's match. I look for AJ's match. Yeah. But I watch Dynamite all the way through. But the weird thing about the AEW fan base, and indeed the wrestling quote-unquote media that covers them, is unless you give them 100% approval, you're seen as an enemy of the state. And I give them like 85% approval, which, is pretty good. But I just see some things that I would do different. I mean, I think that's natural.
It's no different than when we talk about football, Mark,
Well, let's not. The Steelers got killed.
No. I'm saying about everybody, it's really hard for me because my daughter is arguably the greatest, I'm just saying, wrestler of the last 15 years, period, man or woman. So every time I make a statement, that it would indicate any type of criticism of either product, it falls on her. So I don't want to do that.
No,
all I can say is, and you know this too, numbers. Everybody's going to have to find a level of comfort. And I will say this, which I found strange. I don't know anything about it, so I can't comment. The last guy I would have fired if I were Vince would have been Bray Wyatt. So there must be something there that I'm missing. Because you can't, I'm not saying the Fiend was the greatest gimmick in the world, but as you said, Randy Orton, because of his greatness, made it work. So rather than criticize the Fiend, because trust me, Bray Wyatt can work.
Oh, no question.
Rather than me criticize the character of the Fiend, how about the other guys for not being able to keep up with it? Does that make sense?
There's definitely an element of truth in that. And again, I'm not criticizing Bray Wyatt at all.
No, I know you're not. We're talking about his character. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not even that. I think he's great. He could work for me any day, but maybe not if I already had 20 pounds of sugar in a 10-pound bag.
Yeah, but this guy is 6'3". This guy is 6'3" and 300 pounds. Most of those guys over there are much smaller than that.
No question. I think
when you can find an agile athlete that can move around like that, and at that size, to me, he's a must hire.